The core, energy over effort. Close your eyes for a moment. Take a breath. Let the world fall away from you. Because this journey is not about working more, grinding harder, or chasing success the way you've been taught. This journey is about discovering something deeper, something silent, something powerful, something that has been shaping your entire financial destiny without you even knowing it. Your aura, your energetic signature, the invisible frequency you broadcast every day, not with your words, not with your work, but with your emotional state, your beliefs, your internal truth. And here is the first revelation. Wealth does not respond to effort. It responds to energy. For most of your life, society has handed you a script. Work longer, grind harder, stay up later, push more. If you want to be wealthy, you must struggle. But if that were true, the hardest workers in the world would be the richest. The people carrying the heaviest loads, the longest hours, the most exhausting routines, they would be swimming in abundance. And yet, many are not. Meanwhile, people who work less, who flow more, who seem to glide through life with ease, somehow they attract opportunities, support, money, and growth effortlessly. So what separates the two? It isn't the number of hours. It isn't the size of the to-do list. It isn't how loud you hustle or how intense you grind. It is the state of being you operate from. Money is not cold. Money is not harsh. Money is not a test of punishment. Money is energy. And energy responds to resonance. Think of it this way. A tuning fork vibrating at a certain frequency makes another tuning fork with the same frequency begin to vibrate automatically. They align, they match, they resonate. Wealth works the same. It flows where the vibration feels safe, respected, and capable of expansion. It gravitates toward the mind and the aura that match its frequency, not the hands that work the hardest. Two people can do the exact same job, follow the exact same schedule, and put in the exact same amount of effort. Yet one rises effortlessly while the other feels stuck, unseen, or forgotten. Why? Because one is aligned. The other is afraid. One radiates abundance. The other radiates desperation. One believes wealth is natural, safe, and available. The other believes wealth is rare, risky, or far away. And the universe, this intelligent, responsive, energetic field that we are all woven into, doesn't listen to your words. It listens to your signal. Every thought you think, every belief you hold, every emotion you live in becomes a broadcast. And this broadcast becomes your aura. Your aura becomes your magnet. Your magnet becomes your financial reality. You cannot attract abundance from a posture of fear. You cannot attract expansion while vibrating scarcity. You cannot call in prosperity while your energy whispers, "I am not enough. There is not enough. Life never gives me what I want." Wealth does not respond to desire. It responds to alignment. And alignment is not something you force. It is something you become. Think of alignment like water flowing through a river. When the river is clear, water moves effortlessly, naturally. When the river is blocked, polluted, or obstructed, the flow cannot reach its destination. Your energy works the same way. If your mind is clear, open, receptive, grateful, abundance flows. If your mind is tense, doubtful, resistant, fearful, abundance pauses. It waits. Not because you don't deserve it, but because it cannot enter a closed door. So the truth is simple, yet radical.
Your wealth is not created by your grind. Your wealth is created by your state of consciousness. The world taught you to chase money, but energy teaches you to become the person money naturally flows to.
And who is that person? It is someone whose aura radiates a quiet certainty, a calm openness, a grounded belief in their own worth, and an unshakable trust that abundance is natural, safe, and always available. This is wealth consciousness. Not hustle consciousness, not scarcity consciousness, not survival consciousness. Wealth consciousness. It's a way of being, a frequency you live in, a vibration you embody, a presence that speaks without speaking. I am ready for more. I am open to receive. I am aligned with abundance. From this place, opportunities are not chased, they arrive. Connections are not forced, they appear. Resources are not begged for, they match your energy. You begin to experience what many call luck, but it is not luck. It is alignment. And alignment is a skill, a trainable state, a daily practice. Your aura is not fixed. It is not a destiny. It is not a spiritual label you are born with. It is a muscle that grows as you become more intentional, more aware, and more in tune with your inner world. So as we begin this journey together, I want you to remember one thing. You are not becoming wealthy through force, but through frequency. Not through pressure, but through presence. Not through intensity, but through inner alignment. Let this truth settle into your body. Let it soften you. Let it lift something heavy off your shoulders. The pressure to grind endlessly. The belief that you must suffer to succeed. The fear that you are not doing enough. You do not need more force. You need more frequency. And when your frequency shifts, your reality will follow. This is the beginning, the awakening of your aura, the opening of a new energetic path, one where wealth doesn't run from you, but quietly moves toward you because it finally recognizes home.
The law of resonance. Take another slow breath. Let your chest rise gently and fall gently. This next chapter reveals the rule that quietly governs everything you attract, everything you lose, and everything you hold in your life. It is called the law of resonance, and it states something very simple yet profoundly misunderstood. The universe does not respond to your desires. It responds to your vibration. You can want abundance with every part of your mind, but if your energy is broadcasting fear, doubt, or scarcity, the universe listens to the energy, not the desire. Think of it like a radio. You can shout at the radio, you can beg it, you can demand it to play a certain station. But unless you tune the frequency, you will never hear the music you want. You cannot tune into abundance while vibrating scarcity. You cannot tune into opportunity while vibrating fear. You cannot tune into wealth while vibrating unworthiness. The law of resonance is not personal. It does not punish. It does not reward. It reflects. It reflects you back to you. Your inner state becomes your outer state. Your emotions become invitations. Your beliefs become the architecture of your reality. Every thought you have creates a subtle magnetic current. Every emotion you hold sends a quiet signal out into the world. Every belief you repeat shapes the field around you. This is your broadcast, and this broadcast is your aura. If your broadcast is rooted in gratitude, trust, and abundance, it becomes a soft beacon that draws opportunities toward you. People begin to feel safe in your presence.
New ideas flow into your awareness. Doors that once stayed closed begin to open gently. But if your broadcast is rooted in fear, insecurity, or doubt, your aura tightens. Your energy becomes rigid. Opportunities hesitate. People sense instability. And even the blessings meant for you struggle to enter. This is why two people can walk into the same room, make the same introduction, start with the same resources, yet one is welcomed and the other is overlooked. It is not their talent. It is not their intelligence. It is not their credentials. It is their frequency. Life responds to your internal state long before it responds to your external actions. You may not realize it, but your aura is speaking constantly. It speaks through your confidence. It speaks through your posture. It speaks through your breath. It speaks through the way you walk into a room, and it speaks through the emotional atmosphere you carry. You can say, "I want wealth 100 times." But if your aura is whispering, "I am afraid," the whisper wins.
You can say, "I believe I deserve success," but if your body is anchored in old memories of rejection or scarcity, your body wins. The universe reads vibration, not vocabulary. So the question becomes, what are you actually broadcasting? Not what you say, not what you think you want, but what you feel on a deep, honest, internal level. Do you feel abundant or do you feel anxious? Do you feel safe with money or tense and doubtful around it? Do you feel confident or secretly unworthy? Because here's the truth. Your vibration is your preparation. Money comes when you are prepared to hold it, not physically, energetically. Imagine you are carrying a container. If your container is cracked with fear, money leaks out. If your container is small with scarcity, money avoids overflowing you. If your container is shaky with doubt, money hesitates to enter. But if your container is spacious, grounded, open, and trusting, money flows in with ease. Your vibration is the size, shape, and strength of that container. This is why so much wealth advice fails. It tries to change behavior without changing energy. It tells you to budget, save, invest, hustle, all of which can be helpful, but none of which matter if your vibration is misaligned. Because money is not looking for the hardest worker. It is looking for the clearest vessel. And the clearest vessel is the one whose inner world is aligned with abundance. So how do we tune the signal? It begins with awareness. Notice the emotional signature you are carrying right now. Notice how your body feels when you think about money. Notice where the tension lives. Notice where the comfort lives. Your emotions are not random. They are messages, indicators, vibrational readings. If you feel fear, the signal is unstable. If you feel scarcity, the signal is weak. If you feel guilt, the signal is blocked. But if you feel gratitude, the signal strengthens. If you feel trust, the signal clears. If you feel worthiness, the signal becomes magnetic. This is why wealthy people seem to get richer effortlessly. It is not the money they have, it is the vibration they hold. Their aura is trained. Their emotional baseline is calibrated. Their subconscious is in harmony with abundance. Before wealth exists in your bank account, it must exist in your energy field. Before you receive the physical, you must embody the energetic.
There is a sacred truth hidden in all ancient teachings. As within, so without. As above, so below. As you feel, so you attract. The law of resonance is the engine behind these words, and when you understand it, life stops feeling chaotic and starts feeling obedient. Not obedient to force, but obedient to frequency. So as you move forward into the next chapters, carry this understanding with you. Your vibration is not a reaction, it is a choice. And when you consciously choose your vibration, you consciously choose your future. Take a breath. Let this truth anchor itself in you. You do not attract what you say. You attract what you are. And what you are is the resonance you choose to hold from this moment forward. The hidden sabotage, the three masks. Take another slow breath. Let your mind settle into the present moment, because now we enter the part of the journey that most people avoid. The shadows, the quiet forces in your inner world that disrupt your aura and weaken the frequency you broadcast. These forces are subtle. They are familiar. They are disguised as normal thoughts. They hide behind your daily routines, your habits, your reactions. But in truth, they are the greatest enemy of your prosperity. Not the economy, not competition, not your job, not a lack of opportunity. The biggest threat to your abundance is the silent sabotage operating inside you. These sabotages wear three masks: fear, scarcity, and guilt. Each one lowers your vibration. Each one repels wealth. Each one blocks the flow of abundance, not because you are unworthy, but because they distort your energetic signal. Let us take them one by one. Mask 1, fear. Fear whispers quietly, "What if I fail? What if I lose everything? What if I'm not ready? What if I'm not enough?" Fear lives in the part of you that wants safety, but has forgotten that true safety comes from trust, not control. Fear lowers your vibration because it sends a message that you are uncertain, unsupported, and fragile. And money, like all energy, is drawn to stability. When fear dominates your aura, opportunities sense it, people sense it, life senses it. Fear broadcasts weakness. And when you broadcast weakness, you unconsciously push away situations that require strength. You miss the opportunity. You overthink the chance. You hesitate at the moment of action. You shrink when you should expand. Fear is not evil. It is simply unhealed. It is the younger version of you who learned to protect yourself by imagining the worst. But now, you are older, wiser, more capable, and the universe is waiting for the version of you that is not led by fear, but anchored in trust. Mask 2, scarcity. Scarcity says, there's never enough. There's not enough for me. There's not enough to go around. Life is competition. If someone else wins, I lose. Scarcity is a mindset that shrinks you before life even has a chance to expand you. It drives jealousy. It drives comparison. It drives hesitation. It drives fear-based decisions. But here is the deeper truth. Scarcity does not reflect the world. It reflects your internal programming. When you carry scarcity in your aura, your subconscious begins to believe that abundance is impossible, that wealth is unreachable, that success is for others, not you. So even when opportunities approach you, you may unconsciously push them away. You say no when life offers you a yes. You choose small when life prepares something big. You avoid risks that could elevate you. Scarcity is a mental cage that convinces you the world is small, when in reality, the world is infinite. And abundance is not a resource to fight for, it is a field to step into. Mask 3, guilt. This is the most hidden mask, the most spiritual, the most internal, and often the most powerful disruptor of your aura. Guilt says, I don't deserve this. If I succeed, people will resent me. If I grow, I will leave others behind.
Wanting more makes me greedy. It's wrong for me to receive so much. This guilt often doesn't even belong to you. It is inherited. Inherited from family, inherited from culture, inherited from childhood environments that taught you that wanting more is selfish and having more is shameful. But guilt does something devastating to your energy. It creates invisible financial blocks. You may reach the edge of a breakthrough and suddenly self-sabotage. You procrastinate, you withdraw, you lose motivation, you lose focus, you make mistakes you normally would not make. You delay the decision that would change everything. Not because you are incapable, but because guilt whispers that abundance is unsafe, or undeserved, or forbidden. Your aura broadcasts this unworthiness, and the universe responds accordingly. Guilt is the energy of shrinking yourself so others won't feel uncomfortable. But the truth is, your abundance never hurts anyone. Your success does not steal from anyone. Your elevation expands what is possible for others. There is no spiritual reward for staying small. There is no virtue in dimming your own light. You do not help others rise when you rise.
Now, take a breath and imagine these three masks in front of you. Fear, the whisper of failure. Scarcity, the lie of not enough. Guilt, the shadow of unworthiness. See them clearly. Not to judge them, not to hate them, not to fight them, just to recognize them. Because the moment you see a mask, it loses its power. Awareness dissolves sabotage. When you understand that fear is not your truth, it begins to melt. When you see that scarcity is not reality, it begins to loosen. When you realize guilt was never yours, it begins to fall away. As these masks fade, your aura becomes clearer, brighter, lighter. You begin to radiate stability instead of fear, possibility instead of scarcity, worthiness instead of guilt. And with each shift, you become more magnetic. Your energy becomes more inviting. Your presence becomes more grounded. Your decisions become more inspired. Your opportunities become more aligned. This is the beginning of liberation, the release of the emotional weights that have been pulling your vibration downward for years. Let this awareness settle into your spirit gently, because once you understand the sabotage, you are ready to train your aura into something powerful, intentional, and unmistakably magnetic. And that is where we go next. The art of moving without forcing. There comes a moment in every journey where trying harder stops working, where pushing, stressing, forcing, and fighting only drains you, where your willpower becomes a blade that begins to cut you instead of clearing the path ahead. And at that moment, you begin to learn one of life's most quiet but powerful truths. Movement does not always require force. Progress does not always require pressure, and growth does not always need to feel like a battle. There is an art to moving gently, yet effectively. An art to walking forward without burning yourself from the inside. An art to flowing toward what you want instead of wrestling with it. Today, we explore that art, because you have already felt how exhausting it is to push the world into shape. Now you will feel how peaceful it is to grow with it.
The fifth principle: detach from the outcome, attach to the alignment. When you cling too tightly to the result, you stop seeing the path. You stop noticing opportunities. You stop listening to your intuition. You suffocate your own creativity.
But when you focus on alignment, on being the right person, in the right state, with the right habits, the outcome begins to form naturally, without force. The outcome becomes a consequence of who you are becoming. And consequences don't need to be forced, they just unfold. Finally, the sixth principle: move from your center. Every person has a place within themselves where clarity lives. A quiet place, a grounded place, a place untouched by fear, impatience, or pressure. When you act from this place, your movements are peaceful but powerful, decisive but calm, firm but flexible. Your actions no longer come from fear of failing, they come from confidence in your direction. You are no longer hustling for worthiness, you are simply expressing who you already know you can become. Moving from your center means remembering you do not need to force your next step, you only need to take the step that feels true. And truth does not shout. Truth does not rush. Truth simply guides. So now, you stand at a quiet intersection of your life. You have exhausted the path of force. You have tasted the limits of pressure. And you are ready for a new way of moving. A way that is calm. A way that is conscious. A way that flows. You are not slowing down. You are awakening to a higher efficiency. You are not giving up force. You are learning power. And power, true power, moves without struggle. When you align yourself with that truth, life becomes less about fighting and more about unfolding. The energy of becoming. There comes a time in life when you must stop asking, "Who am I right now?" and begin asking, "Who am I becoming?" Because your present identity is nothing but a temporary shape you're wearing, a momentary version of you, a snapshot of your evolution. But your future identity, that is alive, growing, forming, waiting to be stepped into. This part is about entering that space, the space where you consciously choose who you will become, and then begin living in that direction long before anyone else sees it. Becoming is not an event. It is a vibration, a frequency you attune yourself to, a silent agreement you make with your future self that says, "I'm on my way." It begins long before evidence appears, long before success shows, long before validation arrives. Becoming begins in the unseen. The first truth of becoming is simple. Identity is not something you find. Identity is something you build. People often wait for life to tell them who they are. They wait for success to give them confidence. They wait for someone to choose them so they can feel worthy. They wait for external confirmation before giving themselves permission to grow. But becoming doesn't work like that. You do not receive your identity from the world. You offer your identity to the world. You decide the qualities you want to embody. You decide the future you want to live into. You decide the kind of energy you want to carry. And when you decide clearly, your habits begin shifting, your mind begins reorganizing, your decisions begin aligning. Identity leads behavior, not the other way around. The second truth. You grow into the energy you practice. Your future self already exists in potential. There is a version of you that is disciplined, peaceful, confident, stable, and powerful. A version that wakes up with clarity, moves with intention, speaks with purpose, and responds with wisdom. But that version is not waiting far away. It is sitting inside you as a seed. And seeds don't grow by force. They grow by environment. If you want to grow into a new identity, you must place yourself in an environment, inner and outer, that nourishes that version. Every thought feeds or starves it. Every habit waters or dries it. Every choice opens or closes that path. You do not accidentally become better. You consciously move toward better. The third truth. Becoming requires releasing the identity you've outgrown. Not everyone is ready for this part, because evolution demands a kind of death, the death of the old self, the version of you that felt small, the version of you that needed approval,
The version of you that waited for permission. The version of you that attached your value to noise outside you. The version of you that believed fear more than possibility. To step into a higher identity, you must allow the outdated one to dissolve. This is why growth often feels uncomfortable, because part of you is dying while another part is being born. You are leaving behind a self that was built for survival and entering a self that is built for expansion. This is sacred work, quiet work, transformational work. The fourth truth. Becoming is a daily expression, not a future achievement. Your future self cannot grow in imaginary space. It grows in your daily behaviors. If your future self is disciplined, how would they behave today? If your future self is peaceful, how would they respond to this moment? If your future self is confident, how would they speak in this situation? If your future self is aligned, what decision would they make right now? Every moment is a small portal through which your future self enters your present. Every day is an invitation to demonstrate your next level. Not through dramatic, unrealistic change, but through quiet, consistent embodiment. Your future self is not waiting for you at the finish line. They are waiting for you in your next decision.
The fifth truth. Your future self already knows the path. Trust them. There is a deeper intelligence within you that sees farther than your fears. It knows your direction even when your mind feels lost. It whispers guidance through intuition, gut feeling, moments of clarity, and gentle pulls. This inner guidance does not yell. It does not panic. It does not pressure. It simply nudges. And becoming requires trusting those nudges. If something feels heavy, it is not your path. If something feels draining, it is not your alignment. If something feels forced, it is not your growth. Becoming feels like resonance, like recognition, like a quiet yes inside your chest. To grow into your future self, you must begin listening to the voice that knows you are becoming something greater long before there is proof. The sixth truth. Your self-image determines your ceiling. Not your talent, not your intelligence, not your circumstances. Your self-image. Because you will never outperform the identity you believe you deserve. If you believe you are capable, your actions expand. If you believe you are unworthy, your progress collapses. This is why becoming is inner work first. External success is simply the echo. Change your identity, and your life must reorganize itself around it. You don't climb to success. You rise to meet the version of you who already belongs there. And the seventh truth. Becoming requires patience with yourself. You are shedding. You are forming. You are transitioning. You are learning new ways of thinking, moving, responding, and existing. This transformation is not meant to be rushed. Your roots need time to deepen. Your energy needs time to stabilize. Your identity needs time to settle into its new shape. Do not punish yourself for being in the middle. The middle is where the real work happens. The middle is where the internal becomes external. The middle is where the next version of you hardens into reality. You are not behind. You are becoming. So breathe and take a moment to honor yourself. You are not the person you were last year. You are not the person you were last month. You are not even the person you were last week. You are in motion. You are in growth. You are in evolution. And the person you are becoming is already grateful you started. The 4 energetic building blocks of a wealth aura. Breathe deeply. Let your awareness settle into the space between thoughts. Because now we explore the foundation that allows your aura to become magnetic, resonant, and undeniably aligned with abundance. These are not tricks. These are not shortcuts. These are the energetic principles that create a life that flows naturally toward prosperity. They are the 4 pillars, the building blocks of a wealth aura: certainty, calm, congruence, and contribution. The first pillar, certainty. Certainty is the loudest signal you can broadcast without speaking. It is not arrogance. It is not pretending you know everything. It is not forcing confidence where it does not exist. Certainty is self-trust. Quiet self-trust. Knowing that no matter what arises, you are capable. Knowing that no matter what shifts, you can respond. Knowing that your direction is clear and you are moving toward it intentionally. Certainty radiates stability. It tells the world, I am grounded. I am aligned. I am ready. And the universe responds. Opportunities notice. Allies notice. Life unfolds in a way that supports you because your frequency has no hesitation, no doubt, no second guessing.
The second pillar, calm. Calm is often underestimated, yet it is irresistible to prosperity. Money, like all energy, avoids chaos, panic, and desperation. It moves toward spaces that are stable, grounded, and peaceful. Calm does not mean doing nothing. Calm does not mean being passive. Calm means your energy is composed, your mind is centered, your emotional field is steady. When you embody calm, your aura becomes a harbor for abundance. It says, I am prepared, I am secure, I am patient. And this quiet strength magnetizes what you desire without forcing it. The third pillar, congruence. Congruence is the alignment between your thoughts, words, and actions. It is when what you say matches what you do, and what you feel internally matches what you express externally. The universe is intelligent. It reads authenticity. It reads inconsistency, and it responds accordingly. When you affirm abundance and embody the habits of abundance, your aura becomes trustworthy. It radiates honesty, alignment, and credibility. Your energy becomes coherent, and coherence attracts harmony. Congruence turns intention into reality. It transforms desire into manifestation. It bridges the internal world with the external world seamlessly. The fourth pillar, contribution. Contribution shifts your perspective from what can I get to what can I give. It transforms your energy from scarcity into abundance, from self-centered desire into magnetic value. Wealth follows value. Money flows to those who provide impact, service, and energy that lifts others. When you carry an aura of contribution, your presence radiates purpose. It broadcasts worthiness not through demand, but through giving. Contribution does not mean depletion. It means alignment. It means you are abundant enough to share without fear. It means your energy becomes irresistible because it carries expansion, generosity, and positive resonance. When these 4 pillars are integrated, certainty, calm, congruence, and contribution, your aura shifts from ordinary to magnetic. Your energy begins to naturally attract the people, opportunities, and experiences that match your highest intentions. This is the invisible foundation of wealth, the part of success that cannot be taught in a classroom, the part that no amount of hustle, force, or external effort can replace. Because the universe responds to alignment, not struggle,
to vibration, not to frantic trying, to your internal frequency, not your external appearances. Take a moment to feel these pillars within yourself. Certainty in your core, calm in your breath, congruence in your actions, contribution in your intention. Let them anchor your energy. Let them shift your aura. Let them become the quiet but undeniable signature of your being. And remember, these are not passive. They require awareness, practice, and consistent embodiment. Each day, each choice, each breath reinforces or weakens them. Your job is to reinforce them, to live them, to become them. When these four forces are present in your aura, you no longer chase prosperity. You no longer hustle to prove yourself. You do not bargain for success. Instead, prosperity flows to you, not because it owes you anything, not because you are desperate, but because your energy has become the natural environment for abundance. And the most beautiful part is this: you do not need permission. You do not need luck. You do not need proof. You only need alignment. When your certainty, calm, congruence, and contribution are present, your aura becomes undeniable. Your presence becomes magnetic. Your life begins to reflect the inner reality you have cultivated. This is the art of energetic mastery, the foundation of an abundant life, the quiet power that no one can take away from you. And as we move to the final part, we will explore the ultimate test, embodying this energy before any external proof, so that your aura becomes unstoppable and wealth finds you naturally.
The ultimate test, embodiment before evidence. Feel the air filling your lungs, expanding your chest, grounding you in this moment. Because we have arrived at the final chapter, the ultimate lesson, embodiment before evidence. Most people wait for proof before they believe. They wait for results before they feel worthy. They wait for confirmation before they act confident. They wait for external signals before aligning their internal energy. And in doing so, they reverse the natural law of abundance. They expect life to conform to their doubts instead of aligning their energy to create reality. But here is the truth. The universe does not wait for your permission. It responds to the vibration you carry. It answers the energy you radiate, long before any external evidence arrives. Embodiment before evidence means becoming the person who already has what you desire, feeling the energy of abundance now, acting as if your future success is already true before the world catches up. The first step is energetic pre-play. Before any high-stakes moment, a meeting, an interview, a negotiation, a presentation, close your eyes, breathe, and imagine the outcome as if it has already happened. See it, feel it, live it internally. Rehearse it from the inside out as though the victory is already yours. This practice shifts your aura. It transforms tension into anticipation. It turns fear into preparation. It changes your frequency from doubt to certainty. The moment you step into reality, you carry that vibration with you. People notice it. Opportunities notice it. Life aligns with it. You have not forced the outcome. You have prepared the energy. And energy always precedes manifestation. The second step is emotional calibration. Every day, check your internal state. Ask yourself, am I vibrating fear or confidence? Scarcity or abundance? Unworthiness or permission? Your emotions are signals. Your aura broadcasts them continuously. To practice emotional calibration,
is to intentionally align your feelings with the person you are becoming. It is to catch yourself before doubt or guilt lower your frequency. It is to pause, reset, and return to alignment. This is not easy. It is subtle work. But subtle work compounds into undeniable results over time.
The third step is commitment to the 21-day practice. For 3 weeks, consistently embody abundance, certainty, calm, congruence, and contribution. For 21 days, rehearse victories before evidence. For 21 days, align your actions with your internal frequency. For 21 days, refuse to let fear, scarcity, or guilt dictate your signal. Why 21 days? Because repetition rewires your nervous system. It trains your aura to hold new energy naturally. It shifts your baseline from uncertainty to undeniable magnetism. After 21 days, something shifts. You no longer need to consciously practice alignment. It becomes automatic. Your aura radiates abundance naturally. Wealth begins to move toward you effortlessly. The fourth step is living from identity, not outcome. Stop asking, will this work? Stop hoping, will I get it? Stop waiting for validation. Do I deserve it? Instead ask, who am I being right now? How would the version of me who already has abundance act? What decisions align with that person? Then act as that person. Walk as that person. Speak as that person. Decide as that person. This is embodiment. This is the ultimate test. Because external proof is always delayed. Opportunities take time to appear. Recognition takes time to arrive. But your energy can be in alignment right now. And when it is, the universe cannot help but respond. The fifth step is trust in the unseen. Every great creation begins in invisible space. Every masterpiece, every empire, every wealth structure first existed as energy, vibration, and belief. Before there were numbers, contracts, or confirmations, there was alignment. You are doing the same thing. You are creating your reality before it materializes. You are calling in life from the unseen. You are preparing your aura to magnetize what your mind desires. Trust the process. Trust the vibration. Trust the person you are becoming. The final truth. Wealth does not chase the hustler. It does not favor the frantic or the desperate. It answers the aligned. It answers the calm, the certain, the congruent, and the contributive. It answers the person who has cultivated an aura that vibrates abundance before there is any external evidence to prove it. Your challenge now is simple, yet profound. Practice emotional calibration and energetic pre-play every day for 21 days. Embody abundance before it shows up in your life. Carry the frequency of certainty, calm, congruence, and contribution wherever you go. Act as the person who already has the wealth, the clarity, and the alignment you desire. Do this, and your aura will become magnetic. Your presence will become undeniable. Your life will begin to respond, not to your hustle, not to your grind, not to your force, but to your alignment. And you will discover a new truth. Wealth does not chase the desperate. It finds the prepared. It finds the aligned. It finds the undeniable energy you have chosen to embody. Take a deep breath. Feel your chest expand. Feel your spine lengthen. Feel your aura settling into clarity. You are ready. Your frequency is ready. And your life is waiting to answer your alignment.